Hello, we're back, and it brings me great pleasure to tell you that I have returned with an enormous announcement. A huge announcement if my mic is not going to completely shit itself. We have stepped into the modern era and are the proud owners of a Sony PlayStation 5. If you can see that, this is the DualSense controller that I'm trying to kind of show off to the camera. Out of necessity, out of hedonism, out of joy, we have acquired ourselves a Sony PlayStation 5. And what I'm going to do today is kind of talk a little bit through that, go through some of the games that we've been playing, and kind of give our overall thoughts on the experience. And so, we'll start off with a classic just to make sure that we're still alive here. It's important to note that, I kind of have mentioned it on this YouTube channel and in my writing that it unfortunately oh shit, that fucking touchpad is so sensitive. As much as we have enjoyed messing around with the Xbox Series X, it unfortunately is not socially acceptable to be enjoying video games on that system. So set it to the side, not gonna sell it, not gonna really do anything with it, pass it along to the sibling. But yeah, that's that's in the past, and now we've got a wonderful Sony PlayStation 5 that we can play Pac-Man on. So that's what we're doing, and we're just kind of getting our bearings about as we come to grips with what it means to be the owner of a Sony PlayStation 5. This was the first game I installed on this thing, mainly because once I got it out of the box and reconnected my my PlayStation Network account to it, I was immediately given access to all of my PS4 games, with this one included. And I was starting to download everything, but the process was so painful and slow, unfortunately, that I figured that I would install something that I would be able to play right away, and that something was this game right here, Pac-Man. But yeah, we'll get to the other games after I clear this stage and see how far I can get on this one continue. But yeah, so it's silly because the PS5 is so desperately old at this point. I mean, in terms of the world of video game consoles, the machine is now 5 years from its release, almost basically to a T. Exactly 5 years ago today, I worked one of my first shifts at GameStop, where I spent about a year, and it was 2020 November, and we were open for Black Friday, obviously, and we had the system had just come out basically, and the Black Friday surprise or deal at the time was just the fact that we even had one to sell at all in the first place. And so I think our store, which was I'll say now, was the Cumberland Mall in Cumberland or Smyrna, Georgia, was given it was a pretty high volume mall, a lot of people present there. It was given 2 consoles to sell, 2 PS5 systems, and 2 Xbox Series X's at the time, and it was just total pandemonium. It was a very memorable experience. I had just kind of started working retail, and so it really set the stage for the year and some change that was to follow for me. But you know, that situation that we experienced was endemic of the time, because there was the pandemic that was kind of in full swing, on top of worldwide supply chain shortages, chip shortages, all kinds of things happening at that time that created this perfect storm of just unavailability. So since that time, the PlayStation 5 has become much more easy to acquire. And for a little while, it was getting to the point, or it may even still be the case, that you can kind of find these things on the secondhand market for, you know, up, if you're lucky, in the 400s, $300 range, just kind of depending on where you look and what deals you can find. But the interesting thing to note is that the price of this console at retail has increased since its release. And so the model that I acquired was the slim PS5. So it's there's a couple of different SKUs available now, such like the original, like big old PS5 obviously remains in stock and widely available. There's the digital version of the console that comes without a disc drive. There is the slim model that I was just referring to, that I own, that also has a disc drive. There's a slim model without a disc drive, and now there's a pro revision of the hardware that is supposed to offer increased performance and just an overall better gameplay experience. So all of that, has happened since the launch of the PS5, on top of its price increase due to, really in this case now, you could say certainly supply chain issues, but more than anything, the tariffs that the United States has levied on many of its historic trading partners in the past, I guess, year. So a lot has changed since the PS5 originally came out, and a lot has kind of, affected its lifespan, its price, the models that are available, and but all that being said, what kind of the question I'm kind of positing here is just what does it mean, or how does it feel to become a PlayStation 5 owner 5 years into the life of the system, after the rumors of its predecessor already being announced. Ooh, I got a 1-up. What games does somebody like me play on a system like this shortly after acquiring it, and kind of what experience also does someone like me have on a system like this after its release. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to finish this credit of Pac-Man. Hell yeah. Love this. I didn't even realize I'd made it to the end of stage 2, which is wonderful. We get the little cutscene here, and then we're back at it. We'll finish this credit of Pac-Man and then kind of jump into some of the other games that we've been playing. But yeah, I totally bought this PS4 game when I was really drunk, playing PS4 during COVID, probably around the time I was working Walmart night shift in 2020. That's Pac-Man. Let's jump out here. I'm gonna switch to this screen, and we're going to do something like this. Let's do this. You can't hear anything. We're gonna jump into some Gran Turismo 7 here, which was probably the first game that I was the most excited to play. And I will take this opportunity to show you, I am not in current possession of any PS5 physical media, physical software, but I did. Me and my brother were the proud owners of this PS4 copy of Gran Turismo that we acquired at Walmart for fucking $10 when it was on sale. and we were incredibly lit about that, and even played some of it on the PS4. But the real intention was to enjoy the PS5 upgrade that comes free with the game. Let me see if I can kind of show you. You may not be able to see that. That's just bad video production on my part, but you can't see it super well. But the game box kind of hints at a free, or not a free, but a PS5 upgrade, an extant PS5 upgrade. Here on the back of the box it says upgrade to the digital PS5 version of the game at a discounted price. To purchase eligible PS4 disc copies, players need a PS5 console with a disc drive. So that's what we have. That's what we're rocking with. And so thankfully, because of this, we were able to spend $10 on the upgrade for this game, and we've been playing it a good amount since that $10 was spent and the game finally installed. So here we've got Gran Turismo 7. We're in the middle of doing some unlocking, some racing, which we've been enjoying a good amount. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. So I think I have one. What am I supposed to do? Laguna Seca, excuse me. So we're supposed to win this race. Wonderful. I'm going to take a sip of this Monster Zero Ultra, or Monster Energy Zero Ultra, that we've been enjoying here. And we'll just jump right in. So, Gran Turismo 7. Excuse me. God damn, went down the wrong pipe. Is the latest game from Sony Computer Entertainment, or what do they call it? Yeah, I think it's just Sony Computer Entertainment. It should say here on the old box. Sony Interactive Entertainment. Excuse me. Excuse my foolish misinformation there. Sony Interactive Entertainment, PlayStation Studios, and developed by Polyphony Digital, which has been making these games for a really long time. Gran Turismo is a really storied, beloved franchise, known for its exclusivity to the PlayStation console, its pushing of graphical technology, and just its overall polish and and just solid consistency in terms of its quality as a software product. So we're gonna jump in. We've got this Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat 2015, and we're just gonna see what we can do. So one thing to keep in mind about these games is about Gran Turismo, as a franchise, is that the kind of posited goal of these games is to kind of create a really realistic car driving experience, such that so much so that they are often used by people who race in real life, or end up racing in real life, as almost like a training ground. And you can certainly read up more on that. They released Sony Pictures, I guess, released a Gran Turismo film, I think 2 years ago now, maybe 3. That will educate you on that subject with great detail if you so desire. But yeah, so we've been enjoying this game here at the house a good amount. I mean, it's difficult to recommend Gran Turismo, because you really have to be it feels like you have to be a very specific type of person to get the maximum level of an enjoyment from a game in a franchise like this, because of the fact that it is so sim focused. And by that I mean, it's so intensely concerned with being an accurate driving simulation, that you oftentimes lose out on just some of the more traditional arcade fun game design elements that you would typically find in a more arcade style racer. Let's say, for example, Forza Horizon 5, which we cannot play right now or purchase because of the Xbox boycott. Keep in mind that I kind of alluded to briefly at the beginning of this video. So, you know, all that being said, I personally have been really enjoying playing this game, mainly because I just find that the polish of this particular game to be, you know, just really enticing and wonderful to kind of experience. And so, you know, as you can kind of see, I am no expert at these games, and in fact, I'm really kind of straight up horrible at them. But as I've been going along, you know, I've been improving my racing skills. I've been collecting cars and whatnot, and the game kind of, at least up till now, has not been so desperately challenging that it's proved to be just straight up unfun. But you know, it's been an overall good experience, I would say. For okay, sorry, I'm trying to do too much at once, and I'm about to get passed. I need to at least come in third place in order to win this, I believe. I think. Let's see if we can get one more pass here before the end. Nope. But I think that was enough to win what we needed to win here. Damn, dude, that sip of monster really took me out. Let's see. Did we win the car? Excuse me. Yes, we did. That was important. I think we already have that car. No, we don't. I keep saying we because my brother and I are kind of sharing this save file. Holy shit, that song is so loud. Get me out of here. Yeah, you know, we'll kind of stop and smell the roses a little bit more, but you can just get a feel for it even now. You know, the quiet jazz, the really sophisticated menu. Sorry, hold on, I got a call coming in. Let's see. Just a moment. Let's do this. And we will be right back. I need to mute that. There we go. Okay. Let's jump into some more racing in Gran Turismo 7. As you can see, and kind of the point I was making is that you know, this game, you know, it's not for everyone, but it really lures you in with the fucking smooth, weird jazz fusion shit that it's got going on sometimes. The really clean aesthetic and menus, you know, it's just very professional, and not everyone's gonna appreciate that, but I personally find it attractive. So, we're going to go ahead and jump into this race. But yeah, I just wanted to take it a little more slowly here in these menus so you could get an appreciation of that. Kind of what I'm talking about. Hopefully this music won't get me flagged or something down the line, but I think most of it is original compositions for this version of the game and past versions that are kind of all bundled in here. So it looks like we just need to come in third to get the gift car. Looks like a more tricky course than the ones we've been playing, but that's completely fine. yeah, we're just gonna jump right in here. Let's see what this guy's got to say. Something about this game too that I've been noticing is just that the overall sound design is very solid. Like, you know, it feels really pedestrian to make a note of something like this, but just like the sound of the text kind of coming down the line here is just so good. I feel like this song is copyrighted, so we gotta get moving. We gotta not play any more of that. Okay. Let's see how we do. Oh, dude, look at these fucking hot air balloons. That's awesome. Fuck. Not a good start, but you know, we're still in it. This is another thing too, like, a lot of people play this game from like the cockpit view or from like the bumper view. Personally, I look at for a second though, we're gonna switch to it. Look at the way that the reflections are just like so detailed. We've been playing this game in 4K on our television downstairs. I have only a 1080p monitor, or a 920 by 1080p monitor here in my room. But like, so that means that, you know, that's another important issue, is that, like, you know, the performance of this game has been rock solid from in our experience, particularly on the performance mode, which you can choose in the options. But in 1080p, I mean, it looks incredible. You know, because they can they turn on automatically all of these like high resolution pro features. Like, I won't be able to show it, but in the 4K performance mode, these reflections on the hood of this bumper would be so much worse than they are. We're just gonna fucking redo that. Yeah, I mean, like, the reflections look like they look last generation, shall we say, on the 4K version of the game when it's running in performance mode. We've turned on the other option is this quote unquote ray tracing mode, which we've turned on and tried, and that has has certainly increased the graphical fidelity of the game. And I really personally don't notice a huge hit on the performance, but I think there might be some frame drops that you find yourself experiencing when you enable the ray tracing mode. I think that when we are playing this game here right now in 1080p, it automatically flips on a lot of the ray tracing features that I was just describing. So that's why, I mean, if you look again on the bumper of this car, the reflections are just so detailed. The lighting is really advanced. And to kind of return to an earlier point, that really speaks to just the historic and consistent quality that people have come to expect from this series. The sound design, the graphical design, it's all really intended to evoke this oh man, we fucked that up again. I'll try it one more time. It's intended to evoke this almost realism, that is just so far away from the experience of an arcade racing game. Which, as much as I personally really enjoy arcade racing games, there's a way for me, and people who do enjoy arcade racing games to find fun in Gran Turismo. And some of that comes from, just kind of giving into the way that it wants you to play. Like, for example, all the bumping and shoving that I've been doing is just very unwelcome, especially in a more competitive, setting if I was playing online and I was doing the stuff I'm doing, I I would expect to be kicked from lobbies or receive even penalties from the game itself for that type of behavior. But it is what it is, I mean, that's just how. I'm not a skilled racer, so I can't really succeed without doing the bullshit that I'm doing right now. Let's be careful here. This is where we got really fucked up last time. I think there's this sharp right that we're about to hit, so I'm just gonna let off the accelerator and just let it kind of take me into that current turn. Okay, we should be good. Look, there's a fucking pit stop right there because we're in America. A lot of the races I've been doing have not been in the US so far. They've been in Europe or Japan. I'm gonna slow down. Let's see if we can recover from this. We cannot. Okay, I'm gonna try this one more time. As I'm talking up Gran Turismo 7, I'm fucking finding myself struggling desperately to play the game the way it wants to be played and just being horribly punished for it. This car that I'm driving it's a very iconic vehicle, but unfortunately is very difficult to handle. I've been finding, not only in this game, but even in, I use the same car in Forza Horizon, and somehow in that game it was also just so difficult to control. And you would think that I would be performing so much better against these old-ass cars. Alright, we're going to try this like 2 more times, and then I'm going to switch over to something else. Yeah, so, not much more really to say about Gran Turismo. I think that, personally, I really never grew up on these games myself. They were around me when I was young. Like, my cousins would play them a bunch, particularly on the PS2. And I even remember, I have some vague memories of the PS1 version of Gran Turismo. I'm not sure which one specifically. I think there were more than one. I think it was 1 and 2 on the PS1. But I do remember that game being played when I was a child. That was not very sportsmanlike what I just did, but hopefully we can come out on top because of it. So, I don't have a strong personal attachment to this franchise, but I've wanted to kind of get more into it in the past couple years. I bought the 5th game in the series on PS3 and was messing around a little bit with it, but unfortunately my DualShock 3 started really fucking up, and so I had to kind of put it down. And one thing that like I was looking forward to with regards to PS5 ownership was being able to play this game, in a way, or this series of games, but particularly this game. Let's see if we can. Yeah, that was good braking for us. But yeah, to be able to enjoy this game, not as at the maximum level that I could be, in order for that I would need a PS5 Pro, but to be able to just play it and enjoy it, that's something that I was really looking forward to when I thought about owning a PS5. Some of the other games that I've really wanted to kind of try. We'll jump into another one here shortly, but the main game that I've kind of been looking forward to before I bought the system was or the game that I wanted to play the most is Pro Spirits. How is it? Pro Yaku Spirits 2024-2025. Alright, we're going to go slow. We are in the winning position for the unlock that we're trying to get and to advance the story of this game. So we're going to not push our luck here. Let's just lock in here in this last curve, and let's see if we can gain a position. That would be awesome. Hold on. I think we can do it. Awesome. Yeah. That was great. Came in second, you know, not perfect. I'm sure any, like, real Gran Turismo heads out there would be absolutely horrified by my performance here, but I'm having fun, and that's kind of the important thing. Dude, it's just like, this game is just a good time. There's just so much charm in the presentation, so much fucking polish. I'll show you kind of what the story or the main thrust of the progression in this game kind of looks like. Let's jump out here to these menu. So once you have, you know, completed what you're supposed to do in the story, or in the, I keep saying the story, in the progression of this game, you go back to the cafe. And I mean, just look at that. Look at this shit. And then you get this fucking music. It's just wonderful. And you gotta talk to your boy Luca, and he hooks you up with the next quest. So first he's gonna give us some, oh, we just unlocked Daytona. How about that? We might need to play just a little more. Who the fuck is this dude? Tom Matano, the famous designer who worked for GM, BMW, and Mazda? The Mazda Miata. This is a genuine American muscle car that cuts a distinctive figure on the track. A mid-sized sedan with a super high horsepower engine. It's more European in its aero parts and suspension than the first-gen model. This car is a celebration of American inclusive design. It offers supercar level performance at an affordable price. I once drove a Chrysler 300 SRT at Laguna Seca Raceway. A dream to drive. Its wide torque range allowed me to take the course without frequent gear shifts. I look forward to discussing car design in more depth the next time we get the chance. See, dude, it's the little things. Here, let's take a screenshot of that. So there we go. We've completed our collection of Mustangs. Actually, it would be fun to try one of those cars out. And we're gonna get more car lore, which I don't know how much more I can tolerate, actually. The car was unveiled at the World's Fair in New York, and 100,000 orders were placed within a month. Okay. The quintessential American pony car. Love that. I mean, like, I don't even really fuck with cars like that, bro. I just think this is hilarious. Looks like we gotta go Chevrolet now. Oh, hell yeah, we can go to Daytona now. Let's do it. Alright, we're gonna do one race at Daytona. And then we'll be done with Gran Turismo for the day. I think that hopefully we can just race with our Dodge. Oh yeah, baby. What is this? What do you want me to do? Yeah, we are good. Let's try this race out. Hopefully that was not a copyrighted song. It seems like it might be, so let's go ahead and jump in here. Let's take... See, and this is kind of, you know... This is the fucking joy of these games, is like wish fulfillment. I'm driving in a Dodge Charger SRT, 2015. Ah, shit. We gotta change this fucking shit out, because I'm not sure, but I also feel like that song is copyrighted. But anyways, I think that it's playing lit copyrighted songs for me because I'm in a really exciting race. Let's find out. Yeah. Let's do this. Let's go to sound volume. We will turn off the race BGM for this race. I hate to have to do that. I just don't want to be flagged. So, anyways, as I was saying, you know, this is the real fucking joy of Gran Turismo. Is this wish fulfillment right here? You know, fucking. Will I ever drive a Dodge Charger SRT? It's possible that I could. That's not the craziest thing to kind of envision for myself. But look at that fucking plane taking off, dude. There's a Tesla Model S. This is fucking hilarious. But no, like, what will probably almost assuredly never happen, you know, is being able to just fucking take the Daytona 500, particularly in a car so iconic as the one I'm driving. So, you know, we're really living life right now, and for that I am so happy and in the zone, so to speak. I am just lit over this. I did not know that we would unlock this course so soon. But I mean, look how fucking beautiful this is, and oh, that's wonderful. Final Fantasy 15 has been installed. Yeah, I have a. Oh shit! Got distracted, dude. Shit happens. Let's run it back. We probably would have been fine there, but let's just see what we can do. Recreated so faithfully, so lovingly. Okay. That was not a good start, and we're about to get past, but we're going to see what we can do. We're actually not doing bad now. Cut that. And we're just going to take off now. We're not fucking racing clean right now, but one thing that I kind of am familiar with due to my just deep love of NASCAR Thunder 2002 and 2003 is generally what type of flow state you need to get into to succeed in a stock car racing track like this. It looks like we just popped a trophy. Wonderful. In that flow state, I feel like I'm in it. Let's not speak too soon here. This is an important pass. But I've just got my foot on the accelerator. Need to be careful hitting these walls and whatnot. But this feels so much like playing NASCAR Thunder 2002. Just the only issue is, or the only difference is, holy shit. Alright. Go dead stick. We're just going to get back into it. We're going to, just like if we were doing a stock car race, we're just going to fucking, we're going to cut our losses and just fucking go for it. Oh shit. I'm going to race like we were racing in a stock car. It's turned night. We're still in first. Hopefully that won't change. go into this cockpit view. I had it though. You have to admit I had it. And and the fact that I took that crash and I'm still in it. Yeah, baby. That is just so fun. You can do that all day long if it came down to it. We're starting to get a little tired, so I'm starting to get a little tired, so we'll maybe just mess with one more PS5 game before we call it. I am going to jump in here and get switched out. That was so fun. Lovely. Lovely. You get the idea. Hold on. Here it is. Wait, no. It was right here. Was this it? This is where I lost control. Yeah. You gotta admit that was a pretty decent little recovery too, dude. Oh man. Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm so here for it. I wanna keep playing that game. But let's get switched out. That was a lot of fun. I think you understand, or hopefully I've made you kinda see where I'm coming from with regards to Gran Turismo. So let's just give me 1 second. We're gonna get switched out here. Let's load up another game that we've been wanting to try on PlayStation 5.